The County Mayo, 1828. Now, according to Slave Directory, see the post office here, Robert Polk, Killala postmaster. Maybe the post office was here at one time. The village in Killala Cathedral. In 1962, Dean J.E.B. Ashton wrote a short history of St. Patrick's Cathedral, built on an ancient site. It was built on the site of an old Catholic church after 1670 by Bishop Otway. The steeple and spire were built in 1816, or, as some books refer to it, the tower, vestry and gallery were added around then. Before that it was a Catholic church. It is mentioned in 1306 when an episcopal election took place in it, and again in 1398 when the papal relaxation of penance was granted to anyone who would help with the repair of the church. This old church was supposed to be demolished around 1670. The Cromwellians were here then, and the new one was built. The south wall on the other side has a door, and it is the only part of the old Catholic church that still remains. It is now part of the present-day cathedral. It is called, as we saw there, the Anglican Church. Monuments in this church are monuments to Bishop Hall in 1663, Bishop Bailey 1677, Sir Arthur Gore 1679, Bishop Smith 1680, James Moore 1686, there's a doubt about that one, missing. So is Bishop Lloyd missing. Francis Palmer 1721, John Gardner of Croghan 1726, Jacob Wallace 1746, Bishop Carey 1751, Robert Pugh of Mrs. Rose 1807, Bishop Doyle 1834, Dean Collins 1868, Perry Knox Gore 1935, St. George Knox 1936, Morris Knox 1946, these would be a Palmstown, Barbara Miller 1961. Now, churchmen that were here as far back as we can go. J.F. Quinn, writing for the Western People in 1936, states that Donogh O'Connor, believed to be from Sligo, furnished Killala with its first Protestant bishop. He was succeeded by Thomas in 1471, John of Donogh, O'Caslin, who reigned in 1490, then the Bishop Thomas, who died in 1497, then an English clergyman, Thomas Clark, 1498, and he left in 1505. Malachy Clune, 1508. Richard Barrett was the next bishop around 1533. Redmond O'Gallagher, bishop in 1548. Donald O'Gallagher, 1570. Owen O'Gallagher in 1574. John O'Casey, 1580. Owen O'Connor, 1583. Miley or Myler McGrath, 1613. On the windings of the Moy by Parson Greer. Bishop Maxwell, 1640. Francis Kilman, 1645. Bishop Hall, 1661. Bishop Bailey, 1664. Bishop Otway, 1670. Bishop Smith, 1680. Bishop Lloyd, Bishop Tennyson, I should say, 1682. Bishop Lloyd, 1691. Bishop Down, 1717. Bishop Cobb, 1720. Bishop Howard, 1727. Bishop Clayton, 1730, Bishop Carey 1735, Bishop Robinson 1751, Bishop Hutchinson 1759, Bishop Perry 1781, Bishop Preston 1784, Bishop Lang 1785, Bishop Porter 1795, Bishop Stock 1798, Bishop Gascoigne 1810, Reverend James Collins 1845. Now, there's a part missing that I have no names for. The present Dean here is Dean Graham. Before him was Dean Thwaite. And the last Dean to live here, and the best remembered one, Dean Ashton, who wrote an account of this place and who lived in this house here beside it. Second is a better than second. Second up there. 5. Lindy. More Lindy. Kirkwood. Lawrence. Ferdinand Jackson.
The original medieval Catholic cathedral, and that was preserved when this was built. That's the only the only thing that remains now of the medieval cathedral.
That's the medieval Catholic.
Catholic,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And that would have been built on the site of an older one,
Yeah.
and possibly two.
Yeah. What kind of architecture is it? Gothic?
Well,
Gothic,
yes,
isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
pointed.
yeah,
The pointed arch is Gothic.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
The shot of the ancient graveyard at the back.
Oh yes, and this part, down as far as the railings, with the Protestant section.
Yeah,
The Catholics then were buried further along.
yeah.
And
Where the bushes are down there, that's where the
down
souterrain
there,
is.
right, oh yes, just under the bushes.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that. Here's the souterrain here. A dark hole. Going out in that direction, for the tower, wasn't it?
Well,
Yes.
we're standing over the souterrain now, and that was forgotten about for generations, and it was discovered in the making of a grave.
Yeah.
Now, the hole that we can see there is down through the roof of the original souterrain.
Yeah. This is the one here now in the corner.
The way, yes.
Yeah.
Now, if the drawing will show up, there's an outlet passage there.
Yeah.
This would have been there, I would say, from pre-Christian times.
Yeah.
And all the rest of this then was added in sections when this became the monastery and the cathedral.
Yeah. So that was going for the round tower, was it?
No, the round tower would have been built as in afterwards.
Yeah.
When this went out of use,
Yeah.
the round tower, this was a place of refuge
Yeah.
for the people in the monastery and for the
Oh yeah.
canons and so
Yeah.
on.
So you think there was an ancient monastic site here before?
Yes, I would say this is definite proof of it.
Yeah. So it would be a kind of a state of evolved.
It's a place of refuge.
Yeah,
yes.
the time of the Vikings.
Way back. Well, yes, and then they discovered that these places were known by the Vikings, and the round towers then came after that.
Yeah, yeah. So this is it down here then.
Yes. No,
So
it runs in that direction. The main passage runs along there. Now,
how could that try?
more or less, yes.
Yeah.
And at the end, you can see that there are two chambers there. There are three
Yeah, I see that.
chambers altogether,
Yeah, yeah.
and then there's an extra one.
Yeah,
Well, that would be pretty close to the road now in that direction there.
Yeah. So these narrow areas here were to stop people from coming in if they didn't want to. You had to crowd them there.
Yes, there were passages between the different
Yeah.
chambers.
Whoever was interested could cut your head off if you weren't too careful coming
Well,
in,
yes,
right?
but this would be the main. This would be the main one.
Yeah.
Now this one, inside here, could be closed off completely. You wouldn't realise it was there.
Yeah.
there was a slab to cover off this part of the entrance there.
This is Gore Street, isn't it?
Gore Street. Now, how old the name is, I don't know. I would imagine that it must have had another name earlier than that, because the Gores aren't in Killala all that length of time.
Yeah. And down there in the middle of the road somewhere was Killala, wasn't it?
Well, as far as we know.
Yeah.
Church Street. Down here. And here's where Dr. Killala used to live before he built the new house. The Canons lived there. And the Catholic Church before their own parochial house was built. Garda Barracks. And post office was up here. And down here was the Protestant Cathedral St. Patrick's. This is the present day Ireland survey map. And of course up here was Steeple Hill Tower and the RIC barracks. The first one I think that was built in Killala, where a sergeant named Anderson operated. The 1838 map, and we see that Church Street is there the same as it was. Protestant Church was here. This was before the famine. And Steeple Hill was here. And it hasn't changed much in appearance in over 150 years. Church Street. And now we go into Steeple Hill. Church Street also came down here, Protestant Church here, and this is the road down to the quay. And under the road is Kill, the well of the church, now covered over, but it was there. These ancient churches always had wells, so it would be going back probably to the history of the first Catholic church that was built here, maybe in St. Patrick's time, this well, Kill.
Steeple Hill. The townland occupiers of the Saints were Patrick MacDonald, Bridget Gallagher, Reverend Michael Conway, the Constabulary Force, John Sims, Martin Rabbit, Michael Hogan, Robert Polk, Hannah Imburke, and the immediate lessons, those that owned it, Robert Kirkwood, the Ecclesiastical Commissioners, they owned the Round Tower. Joseph Kirkwood owned the barracks, and where the Constabulary Force were the RIC, and Robert Polk, the Ecclesiastical Commissioners, Reverend Patrick Malone, and the Ecclesiastical Commissioners. That was Steeple Hill, getting its name on account of the steeple the other side of the road. That was a photograph there now of your husband, Joe Kane. Yeah. Where did he come from?
He come from Galway.
Yeah. What was the name of the place now?
Rabban Castle Blakeney.
Any big town that I know that is it Connemara side now, or is it?
Ballinasloe.
Ballinasloe, oh yeah. And I suppose you spent years in England, did you?
25 years.
25 years. You were telling me that
He was in the hotel business for about 15
years.
years, and then we were at a nursing home, rest home,
Oh yeah.
in Leamington for 13 years.
That's in Warwickshire, was it?
Yeah, in Leamington for Warwickshire.
Yeah, yeah. And then you came over here when things were going fairly well.
Yes.
Yeah, 1982. Well, before that, wasn't it?
Well, in 81.
81.
1980 we came back, sorry, to Ireland.
Oh yeah, yeah. And he built 8 cottages away over here.
Yes.
What do you call them now exactly?
The ordinary holiday cottages.
Holiday cottages.
Yes.
And you get holiday makers here from
Germany, France,
England, I suppose? Yeah.
every part of it. We've had a lot of...
Oh, yeah.
All different-
All over the place,
all
even
over-
from Ireland too, don't you?
Yes, from
Yeah,
Dublin and
yeah.
Northern Ireland and
Yeah. And conjunction with both faulty, you built these cottages over here, was it?
yes.
You don't know the contractor that built them?
Kenny and Caput. Paddy Morgan was the Paddy and Tony Morgan
Oh, from mine over there.
from mine.
Oh, yeah.
He dead in like his father.
He died. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know the Morton family, they're contractors, all right.
Yeah.
So your name is Bride?
My name is Betty Keane.
Betty Keane. Sorry, I got the wrong name. You were telling me you came from Crossmolina there.
Yes.
Yeah, McHugh
You
was your maiden name, was it?
Yes.
Yeah. What side of Crossmolina did you come from?
Rathmore.
That's down the Ballycastle Road.
Castle Road.
Yeah, you come out of Crossmolina, come towards Killala and go to the left. Yeah. And you're living here in the old Deanery.
The old Deanery, yes.
Yeah. This house here was used the year of the French, 1981.
Yes, it was, they had it for 3 months. Done quite a lot of the filming here.
Yeah.
The bishop was held captive in the house,
Yeah.
and the shots, Gina Humbert through the window.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they didn't really break one of your windows here, did they?
Yes, that one on the left.
This one down here.
Here on the left.
Yeah. You were telling me to use the first floor and
And
the...
the cellar and gardens for the garden party.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And there you see it
Oh, yeah, yeah. This was in 1981.
in 1981.
Yeah, and you came living directly afterwards.
They just finished the film the day we come. That they were supposed to be had moved out, but we come that day,
Oh, yeah.
and they were moving out the
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, yeah. How old do you think this house is?
It's over 200 years.
200 years old. That's a boot there made out of stone. An unusual thing. Where did it come from?
That's from England, actually, but the stones they are very old.
Yeah. Oh, it's not old. From a garden centre in
It
England.
was in the garden centre in England.
Any particular type of shoe it represents? No?
No, there's more boots.
No boot. That little house there, Mrs. You were telling me that.
It was
A railway house.
Dean Aston had a little railway, miniature railway used to go around the garden,
And he made one of these houses.
and this house is left here on the
Yeah, that's right. He had a little railway working around here. That's what Joe Arnold was telling me about it. So he made that himself out of
Yeah.
concrete and slate.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got that from England.
Yeah.
And the leprechaun too, I suppose.
The left corner. Joe had a great.
Oh, he's a Galway man, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pádraig O'Connor. Yeah. Who made him? You don't know?
I don't know who made
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Did he come from Galway?
In Galway.
Yeah. And
The seats, like in the garden.
oh, he had it for pulling
Pulling the boat in.
in and out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He had a lot of things around here, hadn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These girls were part of it, had finished off properly.
The old Deanery. That's what you call it, isn't
Yes.
it?
You all right out there? Yes, old Everton.